You open the app again. Fingers hover over a name. The same screen. No new words. Yet you check every night. The silence from them feels like a blade, but your need to fill it cuts deeper. You type a message, delete it, type again. Each word feels like a plea to be seen, to be remembered. But the void stays quiet, and you keep reaching into it. What if the silence isn't theirs, but yours to command? You think speaking will prove you exist. That, explaining, will bring them back. That words will close the wound. But each message unsent, each check unanswered, what does it build? A cycle, a trap. You're not reclaiming control. You're feeding loss. The pattern runs deeper than you see. Every refresh, every unsaid word, it's not just habit, it's a surrender to pain, to rejection, to the story you tell yourself about why they left. You're not waiting for their reply. You're waiting for permission to stop hurting, and it's eroding you silently. Your clarity, your ground, your ability to stand still. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Silence is not the enemy. It's the mirror. It shows the weight you carry, the weight you choose. You don't need to speak to be whole. You don't need their words to end the ache. The contempt lies in refusing to beg, in letting the quiet hold what words never could. When did you last pause and see the trap you're in? You think you're choosing to wait, to check, to hope. But are you choosing, or is the pain choosing for you? Every time you reach, you hand it the reins. Every unsent message, another knot in the loop. Silence isn't absence. It's the space where you decide who drives. The quiet doesn't explain, it exposes. What it shows depends on whether you look or keep running. You think explaining will make them stay, that words will bridge the gap. You draft a message, rewrite it, send it. Their silence returns, cold, empty. And you believe it's your fault, that if you find the right words, the perfect plea, they'll see you. You're wrong. Words don't hold what's gone. They don't undo rejection. They don't fix loss. Each sentence you send, each attempt to be heard, it's not connection, it's a chain. You think you're reaching out. You're not. You're begging. And the silence you get, it's not their contempt. It's the mirror of your own. You keep speaking to fill the void, but the void doesn't listen. Silence does. Stop. Look at the screen. Look at the words you didn't send. They don't owe you a reply, and you don't owe them your voice. Detach, or keep sinking. What's left when you stop explaining? Trait 1. The shield of silence. You see their name light up? A notification. Your heart jumps. Fingers twitch. You want to reply. Now. To prove you're still here. To show you're not invisible. You type. Fast. Words spilling out. Anger, hurt, a plea. You hit send and wait. The silence that follows isn't theirs. It's yours. You gave it away. Every word you sent, every impulse you obeyed, it wasn't strength. It was surrender. To pain, to reaction, to the need to be seen. You think speaking makes you whole. It doesn't. It cracks you further. Each message, each outburst, it's not defiance. It's a chain. You're not fighting their silence. You're feeding it. The cost runs deeper than you feel. Every time you react, you hand over control. You let their absence steer your mind, your peace, your ground. You're not just answering a message. You're rewriting your worth, tying it to their reply, or their lack of one. The more you speak, the more you lose. Not their attention, but your own. Your clarity fades. Your center shifts. You're no longer standing, you're chasing. And the chase, it doesn't end with them. It ends with you, hollowed out, still waiting. Silence isn't weakness. It's a shield, a Stoic one. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Their words, their silence, they're not yours to command. But your response is silence doesn't beg. It doesn't plead. It holds the line. It keeps you whole when pain wants to pull you apart. When you refrain, when you choose not to react, you don't lose. You reclaim. You don't need to shout to be heard. You don't need their answer to exist. Silence is the wall that stops the cycle, the one you've been running in without seeing. So pause, look at the screen, feel the urge, the pull to respond, to explain, to fight. Don't let it sit. Let it burn. Observe it. Don't obey it. Put the phone down. Breathe. Not to calm yourself, but to see. Their silence isn't your failure. Your reaction is. Choose silence instead. Not to punish them, but to protect you. It's not about winning their attention. It's about keeping yours. Silence isn't surrender. The urge to speak. It's loud. It's heavy. But it's not the truth. You don't need to fill the void to prove you're enough. Let's see what happens when you hold the shield instead of swinging. Trait 2. The canvas of absence. Their words stopped, and you feel the urge to fill the gap. You want to ask why, to demand answers, to make them speak. You think your voice will pull them back. You will make them see you. So you talk. You explain. You plead. Every sentence, a brushstroke to paint over their silence. But the canvas stays blank. Their absence doesn't change. Your words don't land. They sink into the void. And each attempt to be heard, it's not connection. It's isolation. You're not speaking to them. You're shouting at a wall, and the echo is your own. This isn't just a moment. It's a pattern. Every time you chase their response, you lose clarity. You think you're fighting for closure. You're not. You're erasing yourself. Each plea, each question, it doesn't draw them closer. It pushes you further from your ground. You're not proving your worth. You're begging for theirs. And the cost? You stop seeing what's real. Their silence isn't your fault, but your need to fill it. That's your trap. You're not holding space. You're drowning in it. Silence doesn't need your paint. It's already a canvas, one that shows what words hide. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak." When you stop speaking, you start seeing. Their absence isn't your failure. It's their truth. Let it show. Let their silence reveal what they won't say. Observe, don't interrupt. Their words, or lack of them, they're not your burden. Your job isn't to fix the quiet. It's to witness it. To stand still and let the truth breathe. So put the phone down. Feel the pull to text, to call, to demand. Don't let the silence stay empty. Not to hurt them, but to free you. Watch what their absence says. Watch what your urge to speak reveals. Detach from the need to be answered. You don't need their voice to know your own. Silence isn't a loss, it's a mirror. It shows you what's left when you stop pleasing. The void is where it clears. You didn't fill the silence, and the world kept turning. What happens when you let the canvas stay blank? Let's find out. The phone goes dark, like a door closing. Silence isn't empty, it's heavy with what you choose to see. Trait 3. The pause that cuts. You see their story pop up, your thumb hovers. You want to swipe, to check, to know what they're doing. Without you, the urge is sharp. It pulls. You scroll back through old messages, old fights, old promises. You read them again, as if they'll change, as if they'll explain why it ended. You're not looking for answers. You're overthinking. Each word you reread, each memory you replay. It's not closure. It's a loop. You're not moving forward. You're circling, in regret, in pain, in a story that's already done. This isn't just a habit. It's a prison. Every time you check, you tighten the bars. You think you're piecing it together. You're not. You're breaking yourself apart. Each revisit steals your presence, your clarity, your ability to stand still. You're not just reading words. You're rewriting your worth, tying it to what's gone. The more you dig, the deeper the numbness grows. You're not finding truth. You're burying it under layers of what could have been. Silence cuts the loop. It's not escape. It's precision. Epictetus said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Their story, their silence, it's not yours to rewrite. Your thoughts, they are. When you pause, when you stop scrolling, you don't lose. You reclaim. You don't need to know what they're doing. You don't need their words to end the ache. Silence is the blade that severs the cycle, the one you've been running in without seeing. So close the app. Feel the urge, the pull to check again. Don't. Let it sit. Let it burn. Breathe through it. Don't obey it. Put the phone down. Look at the room. See what's here, not what's gone. Their story isn't your truth. Your reaction is, choose silence instead. Not to forget them, but to remember you. It's not about closing the past. It's about cutting the chain that binds you to it. You don't have to react. The screen stays off, and the loop begins to fray. What happens when you let the pause hold? Let's see. Trait 4. The weight of non-response. The message sits there, unread. You see the dots. They type, then stop. Your chest tightens. You want to ask why, to push, to make them answer. The silence feels like a wall, and you're ready to tear it down. You start typing, explaining your side, defending your worth. You think it'll make them see. It won't. Every word you send, every urge you follow, it's not strength, it's chasing. You're not breaking their silence. You're breaking your own ground. You're not demanding respect. You're begging for it. And the shame grows heavier with each unsent draft. This isn't just a moment. It's a theft. Every time you chase, you give away control. You let their absence decide your value, your peace, your presence. You're not just waiting for a reply. You're waiting for permission to feel whole. And each time you reach, you lose more. Not their attention, but your own. The weight of their silence isn't the problem. The weight of your need to fill it, that's what pins you down. You're not standing. You're sinking deeper into a trap you built. Silence carries its own weight. It's not empty. It's full. Full of what you choose to hold. Marcus Aurelius said, "You must accept what you cannot control." Their response, their absence. It's not yours to force, but your voice is. When you choose silence, when you refrain, you don't crumble, you rise. You don't need to explain to be seen. You don't need their words to be enough. Silence is the anchor that keeps you steady when pain wants to pull you under. So stop. Feel the urge to text, to fix, to prove. Don't let the message sit. Let the dots fade. Not texting isn't defeat. It's power. Hold nothing and feel the weight lift. Look at the silence, not as rejection, but as truth. Their demands don't define you. Your refusal does. Choose non-reaction, not to hurt them, but to hold you. It's not about winning their voice, it's about keeping your own. You don't owe anything. You didn't chase, and the weight began to shift. What happens when you let silence carry the load? Let's find out. The reactive self whispers, say something. Make them see. The Stoic self answers, detach. Their silence isn't your burden. Trait 5. The clarity of stillness. The screen glows. Notifications pile up. You scroll fast to drown the quiet, to escape the ache. You click, you watch, you consume anything to keep the thoughts at bay. The ones about them, about what they said or didn't say. You think you're staying busy. You're not. You're running from pain, from numbness, from the truth that sits in the silence you won't face. Each swipe, each video, it's not distraction, it's avoidance. You're not filling the void, you're sinking deeper into it. And the clarity, you need slips further away. This isn't just a habit, it's a theft. Every moment you spend escaping, you lose presence. You think you're protecting yourself. You're not. You're blurring the edges of what's real. The more you scroll, the less you see. The ache doesn't fade, it grows quiet, but heavier. You're not outrunning the pain. You're carrying it, letting it cloud your mind, your ground, your ability to stand still. The noise you chase, it doesn't save you, it buries you. Silence is a clear lake, not a storm. It doesn't hide the truth, it reveals it. Seneca said, "There is no need to show your troubles to others. The chaos you flee, it's not outside, it's within." When you pause, when you turn off the screen, you don't lose, you find. You don't need noise to feel alive. You don't need distraction to be whole. Silence is the space where the fog lifts, where you witness what's left when you stop running. So stop. Feel the urge to scroll, to hide, to numb. Don't. Put the phone down. Sit with the quiet. Breathe through it. Don't fight it. Look at the room. See what's here, not what's missing. The pain isn't your enemy. Your avoidance is. Choose stillness instead. Not to forget the hurt, but to understand it. It's not about feeling better. It's about seeing clearer. Silence doesn't promise peace. It demands it. Stillness is enough. The noise fades, and the truth begins to surface. What happens when you stay in the quiet? Let's see. Trait 6. The contempt of detachment. You feel the sting, their words, or lack of them. You want to fix it, to explain, to make them understand. You draft a reply, long, detailed, every word, a plea for closure. You think it'll end the ache. It won't. You're not resolving anything, you're clinging to their approval, to their presence, to a version of them that's already gone. Each sentence you write, each attempt to hold on, it's not strength, it's a trap. You're not seeking truth. You're chasing a ghost, and the anxiety tightens its grip with every word you don't send. This isn't just a moment, it's a cycle. Every time you explain, you give away your ground. You think you're fighting for connection. You're not. You're fighting yourself. The more you hold on, the deeper the loop cuts. You're not just waiting for their response. You're waiting for permission to stop hurting. And each unsent message, each imagined reply, it doesn't free you, it binds you. To pain, to loss, to a story you can't rewrite. Silence is contempt, not for them, but for the need to explain. Marcus Aurelius said, "You must accept what you cannot control." Their silence, their absence, it's not yours to change. But your voice is. When you detach, when you say less, you don't weaken, you rise. You don't need their understanding to be whole. You don't need their words to end the cycle. Silence is the cut that severs the chain, the one you've been dragging without seeing. So stop. Feel the urge to type, to clarify, to prove. Don't. Delete the draft. Close the app. Disengage. Not to punish them, but to protect you. Look at the silence, not as failure, but as freedom. Their absence isn't your burden. Your reaction is. Choose no explanation. It's not about closing the door. It's about walking through it. Silence doesn't beg. It commands. Detachment is a form of respect. You didn't explain, and the chain began to break. What happens when you let go of their answer? Let's find out. A man sits alone, phone in hand. He types, then stops. The screen goes dark. Detachment is the weight of choosing yourself. Trait 7. The silence of refusal. Their voice cuts through. A call, a message, a demand. You feel the pull to answer, to please, to keep the peace. You swallow the hurt, the anger, the truth. You respond, soft, careful, hiding what you feel. You think it's strength, it's not, it's suppression. You're not protecting yourself. You're erasing yourself. Each word you force, each smile you fake, it's not harmony, it's emptiness. You're not building bridges. You're burning your ground. And the weight of it grows heavier with every word you don't mean. This isn't just a moment. It's a theft. Every time you speak to please, you lose centeredness. You think you're keeping them close. You're not. You're pushing yourself away. The more you hide, the deeper the void. You're not just silencing your pain. You're silencing your truth. And the cost? You stop knowing who you are. The words you don't say, they don't disappear. They fester, turning into resentment, into loss, into a self you no longer recognize. Silence refuses the game. It's not retreat, it's rebellion, Seneca said. The greatest remedy for anger is delay. Their demands, their expectations, they're not yours to carry. Your voice is. When you walk away, when you say nothing, you don't shrink. You stand. You don't need to please to be whole. You don't need their approval to exist. Silence is the door you close, not to hide, but to hold what's yours. So, stop. Feel the urge to answer, to smooth, to fix. Don't. Let the call go unanswered. Let the message sit. Not explaining isn't weakness. It's power. Look at the silence, not as surrender, but as choice. Their demands don't define you. Your refusal does. Choose silence, not to avoid them, but to reclaim you. It's not about ending the conversation. It's about starting your own. Not doing is power too. The words you didn't say, they didn't break you. What happens when you refuse to play their game? Let's see. Trait 8. The ground of non-reaction. The notification buzzes. Their name. Your pulse spikes. You feel the heat. The urge to fire back. To defend. To prove them wrong. You type. Fast. Words sharp like blades. You want them to feel your pain. To see your anger. To know you're not invisible. You hit send. And the silence that follows isn't theirs. It's yours. You gave it away. Every reaction, every outburst, it's not power. It's reaction. You're not standing tall. You're falling into their trap, into your own grief. And the ground beneath you cracks. This isn't just a moment. It's a collapse. Every time you react, you surrender control. You let their words, their absence, steer your mind, your peace, your resilience. You think you're fighting back. You're not. You're fighting yourself. Each impulsive reply, each heated word, it doesn't free you. It chains you to their narrative, to your hurt. The more you swing, the deeper you sink. You're not proving your worth. You're proving their hold, and the chaos grows louder. Silence rebuilds what reaction destroys. It's not retreat, it's system reset, Epictetus said. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Their words, their provocations, they're not your burden. Your response is, when you step back, when you hold the line, you don't crumble, you rise. You don't need to shout to be whole. You don't need their reaction to exist. Silence is the foundation you stand on when chaos wants to pull you under. So stop. Feel the urge to reply, to fight, to prove. Don't. Put the phone down. Let the message sit. Breathe through it. Don't obey it. Look at the silence, not as defeat, but as strength. Their words don't own you. Your reaction does. Choose non-reaction. Not to ignore them, but to protect you. It's not about silencing your voice. It's about grounding your power. Pain doesn't mean truth. You didn't swing, and the ground held firm. What happens when you choose silence over chaos? Let's find out. A woman stares at her screen, fingers poised, then still. She sets the phone down. Silence is the first step to cold peace. Trait 9. The witness in quiet. You feel the ache, their absence. You tell yourself it's fine. You smile. You work. You move on. But at night, alone, you unravel. You push the pain down deep, where no one sees. You think you're strong. You're not. You're dennying. You're not healing. You're hiding. Each time you shrug it off, each time you say, I'm okay, it's not truth. It's isolation. You're not letting go. You're locking yourself in with the hurt, with the loss, and the quiet grows heavier. This isn't just a moment. It's a fracture. Every time you deny, you lose awareness. You think you're protecting yourself. You're not. You're blinding yourself. The pain you bury, it doesn't sleep. It festers, stealing your clarity, your ground, your ability to see what's real. You're not just hiding from them. You're hiding from you. The more you suppress, the less you witness. The ache doesn't fade. It shapes you silently into someone you don't recognize. Silence isn't denial. It's the space to see. Seneca said, there is no need to show your troubles to others. Their absence, their silence, it's not your shame. Your pain is when you sit with it, when you face the quiet, you don't break. You learn. You don't need to hide to be whole. You don't need to pretend to be enough. Silence is the lens that shows the truth, the one you've been running from without knowing. So stop. Feel the urge to smile, to dismiss, to bury. Don't turn off the noise. Sit alone. Breathe through it. Don't push it away. Look at the pain, not as weakness, but as fact. Their absence doesn't define you. Your denial does. Choose to observe, not to fix it, but to understand it. It's not about erasing the hurt. It's about seeing it clearly. Silence doesn't hide. It reveals. You can end without drama. The quiet held the truth, and you didn't run. What happens when you witness instead of hide? Let's see. Trait 10. The power of no words. You see their silence, and it burns. You want to speak, to fill the gap, to make them care. You draft a message, words heavy, with hope, with hurt, with need. You think they'll hear you. They won't. You're not reaching them. You hope blindly. Each word you write, each plea you send, it's not connection. It's loss. You're not pulling them closer. You're pushing yourself further into a void that doesn't answer, and the silent power you could hold slips away. This isn't just a moment. It's a surrender. Every time you speak to fix their absence, you lose ground. You think you're proving your worth. You're not. You're proving their hold. The more you chase, the deeper the ache. You're not just waiting for their words. You're waiting for permission to feel whole. And each unsent message, each unanswered call, it doesn't free you. It binds you to pain, to rejection, to a story you can't rewrite. Silence is a fortress, not a cage, Marcus Aurelius said. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Their silence, their absence. It's not yours to control, but your voice is. When you release, when you not chase, you don't weaken. You stand. You don't need their words to be enough. You don't need their presence to be whole. Silence is the wall that holds you steady when the urge to beg wants to pull you down. So stop. Feel the urge to text, to call, to hope. Don't. Delete the draft. Turn off the screen. Breathe through it. Don't follow it. Look at the silence, not as loss, but as strength. Their absence doesn't own you. Your reaction does. Choose detachment. Not to hurt them, but to honor you. It's not about erasing the past. It's about building your future. Silence doesn't plead. It commands. Let go isn't weakness. You didn't speak, and the fortress held. What happens when you choose power over plea? Let's see. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Silence is the choice to react no more. The phone lies still, screen dark. The room is quiet. No hum of notifications, no flicker of light. Just you and the air you breathe. You didn't text back. You didn't check. You didn't fill the void with words that beg. The silence holds heavy, but not crushing. It's yours now, not theirs. The ache is there, but it doesn't drive. You've stood in the quiet, and it didn't break you. You've felt the pull, the urge to react, to explain, to chase. But you paused. You chose stillness over chaos. That pause, it wasn't weakness. It was power. Not to hurt them, but to hold you. The world didn't end when you stayed silent. It began to clear. Their absence, their words, they don't own you. Your choice does. What happens when you let the silence speak? Not for them, but for you. Not to fill the void, but to see it. Stillness is where you begin to see.